Hello, my name is Opal Singleton. I am the president and CEO of Million Kids, and this is called a Million Kids Insider Alert. Please feel free to share this with everyone you know. We have to get the word out about this. This is breaking news. This just happened. California Senate unanimously passes SB 584, and with no opposition. We're happy to hear that. A lot of work done by the Little Hoover Commission and the Coalition Against Sexual Trafficking over in LA called CAS. It's a child labor trafficking bill, and it's focused on educating foster parents. And this is so important. SB 584 is authored by Senator Brian Jones. He's from Santee, and it adds foster parent training requirements that have been previously overlooked by legislation. This bill requires counties to include information on providing care and supervision to children who have been commercially sexually exploited as part of the mandatory pre-approval caregiver training in the foster care system. This bill previously failed to provide training to a foster parent specifically about labor trafficking. Many people aren't aware that minors can be labor trafficked and often are right here in our own community. So, what is labor trafficking of a minor? Well, someone under the age of 18 years old, and it involves the same as sex trafficking: force, fraud, fear, and coercion. So maybe they will lure you into a job, but you're not free to go. Oftentimes, you'll see those signs on the posts, telephone posts by schools: teen jobs, make $500 a month, free transportation from 13 to 18 years old. And you say, if you're 13 years old, why do you need free transportation? Where are you going? Well, those are selling crews. If you've ever seen them, probably outside of a Home Depot or a Lowe's, or at a public place where they're trying to sell candy bars, they're in a selling crew and they're moved from place to place. And that's what we mean by they're not free to go. Fraud: you're going to make all of this money, but it doesn't really happen, and you don't really collect it, especially in those sales crew. Fear: if you don't do this, something bad will happen to you. Coercion is you have to sell this much money or you're not going to get to eat or won't have a place to stay. So those are child labor trafficking. I'll give you a couple of examples of how we see it in our community. Actually, child labor trafficking is more common than you might realize. And it's especially common among the homeless teenagers that become victims of trafficking. They don't have a lot of alternatives. They don't have anyone giving them money. They need to be able to get money to survive. And so people will come along and offer them all kinds of things that end up in various kinds of abuse where they're not getting paid. Maybe they're being kept somewhere. Maybe they're being sexually violated. If they're not documented, they will often threaten to hold whatever documentation they have or hurt their family. And so one of the things that we know of here in California is that 20% of foster youth will become homeless the day they age out. There are many agencies that deal with emancipated foster youth. And people ask me, what can I do to stop trafficking? That's one of the most important things you can do. Hey, if you're a senior citizen and you have all of those extra dishes, or maybe you're an artist and you have some artwork, find that foster agency or contact us, and I'll put you in touch with several of them that help emancipate and foster youth. Think about this. They age out and now they're on the street and they have no security platform whatsoever. And they're extremely vulnerable to offers. Be sure and talk to your kids and your grandchildren. Do not pay attention to those signs of ads out on the street to make $500 a month when you're only 14 years old. In fact, when you see them, cut them down. Those are scams, and we need to be able to educate our kids about it. Not only will you see them on the street corner, but the kids will see them online. There are thousands of scams online. The kids think they're going to earn a lot of money. Sometimes it involves sending in photos, as we just saw in Pornhub. That ended badly with so many of our young people taking illicit photos and sending them in. So talk to your kids about no easy money. Easy money will be the hardest money you ever earn. This is a very famous case out of Ohio. These are young people who came in, young men who came in under the unaccompanied minor program. Someone came to them and said, I'll get you a job over in Ohio. You can go to school and you can make money and we'll take care of you. Once they got there, they were horribly treated. They were all day long, they were forced to cut the beaks off these chickens and process them and shovel the chicken coops out. And they lived in horrendous conditions. But what was happening is they were threatening their family back home. And that is child labor trafficking. So keep an eye out for that. I have seen cases where forced begging is a type of labor trafficking. You'll have gangs that take on a lot of these homeless kids and put them out there. And by the way, they also prey on adults who are homeless, put them out there to beg. And as soon as they collect the money, the gangs will come along and take their money and put them back out there and then withhold food and control them. That is a type of labor trafficking. Now, we need evidence to prove it. We can't just say there's a girl begging down on 14th Street. There are, but we need to be able to build the case that they're part of a ring that is being abused. So the other thing I want to point out is commercial sexual exploitation of a minor in California is against the law, and you're going to pay a really heavy price on it. Just saying she didn't look 18 doesn't get it. No, you know that she's not 18. But it can also be a kind of labor trafficking if someone is benefiting from putting her out there, or him. By the way, there are males that are put out there. That also can be labor trafficking. Well, thank you to listening our Insider Alert. If you know of anybody who's being exploited, you can report on the national hotline. It is absolutely anonymous. And if you want it to be. And now keep in mind, this is not 911. If you see someone in trouble, you want to call the police. But in the meantime, if you know something that needs to be reported, this is how you report it. So this is Opal Singleton with another Insider Alert. I hope you'll share these with everyone that you know. And please continue to support the work of Million Kids. We so much appreciate it. These are challenging times, but you guys are so faithful and you come forward and you work together and we have a team and things are really looking good. We believe our movie will be out before long. We think it's going to be in July now. Because of COVID, it was delayed. But I think each and every one of us and you that help support us in keeping our kids safe from predators. We'll see you next time on the Insider Alert.